I would love to show you guys the different applications and the diversity of how you can incorporate edible insects into your cooking. So today we are going to make one of my infamous dishes, cricket crusted fried chicken.
Edible insects. Keep your minds open, people.
Yes.
Chef Joseph Yoon wants to change your diet one bug at a time.
He is the executive director of Brooklyn Bugs, an organization that wants to normalize the use of edible insects, and he joins us live this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Thank
you
you
so much for having me on your show today.
Great to see you. So first we want to talk about the benefits of eating bugs. So what are some of the benefits?
Well, I think that some of the best things to talk about when starting to talk about insects, one is that they are delicious, because people think of them in sort of weird terms or something. But among the benefits are that it's a sustainable form of protein. We can't continue to produce the meat that we're doing in a sustainable fashion right now. And insects require only a fraction of the resources in the amount of water that it takes, the land, the feed, and produces a negligible amount of greenhouse gas emissions. So one is the sustainability. Two is that they're nutrient dense. They are packed full of macro and micronutrients, packed with protein, low in carbohydrates. And so it's just really a super, super smart food.
The pictures that we're looking for admittedly look very beautiful, very artistic, and I would even say delicious. Is that how you're able to get people to try these bugs for the first time, that they have to be paired in a delicious looking dish, or can they just be eaten by themselves?
That's a really big question to unpack. Thanks for asking, Dan. We found that there's no silver bullet. There's no one dish or one bug or one event, or, with great respect to you, one program that will change the minds of a generation globally. And so for us, we just find that we need to be consistent and keep going, present them in manners that are hidden, where you could make a powder with cricket powder, for example, and hide it in your food, or that you can even show it and highlight the food. For us, we just really want to be able to work with it in an interdisciplinary manner, because the idea of sustainability and environmentalism will reach out to a certain demographic of the people, maybe 10% of the people. The idea that it's a new, novel food for some people, that'll appeal to another 10% of people, maybe. And so for us, we love that we're able to work with universities and museums and institutions that help us to change this psychological factor in such beautiful ways that can introduce them in new manners and be able to introduce them through fine arts and through liberal arts to help integrate what we're doing culturally, so that it's not just coming from a rhetoric, like a sustainable rhetoric, or from a foodie point of view.
Have you found the hesitancy to eat insects is a very much a Western culture thing versus, in other countries where this is much more common?
Well, I think that the cultural stigma is definitely a huge factor in Americans and Europeans in their reluctance to try edible insects. But because our culture sets so many standards, there are African countries, Asian countries, and South American countries that have a long history of eating insects that are now more unlikely to have it readily available because of how Americans have set the cultural tone for the idea of eating insects and kind of make it a stigmatized sort of thing, or like something that only poor people do or only developing countries. And we're really trying to change that, because over 80% of the world's nations and over 2 billion people already enjoy them as a regular form of protein.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Assuming that maybe one day eating insects becomes more mainstream, which insect do you think stands the best chance of sort of breaking through into the mainstream?
Well, I think that some people call crickets the gateway bug, if you will. And there's a lot of research being put into crickets in America and in Europe. And because there are cricket bars, there are cricket chips, cricket pasta, cricket sauce, there's a lot of variety of things available with it. The mealworms are also going to be in really big production. And then I think you also have to look at black ants because they look like caviar or sesame seeds and have a zingy pop like Pop Rocks and citrus. And so it's just super fun. And I think that as we begin to learn more about eating insects, that there are over 2,000 types of species of edible insects with wildly different flavor profiles, textures, and functionality. I think the more people begin to start seeing it and hearing about it, as we begin to normalize it more and more, that people will be more likely to give one of these guys a try.
Just real quick, where would you buy insects? Because we often don't see them at our grocery store, Whole Foods, Mariano's out here in Chicago. Where would you recommend somebody go to buy something like that?
Well, I list who my vendors are in all my posts, and I post hundreds of new dishes every year. And you could go to, I actually started an online store through edibleinsects.com. And edibleinsects.com has a wide variety of insects available, but virtually all the insects that I've shown are readily available online as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right, Chef Joseph Yoon, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us this morning. I really
interesting.
enjoyed that segment and wishing you a Happy New Year.
Well, Dan, I might just say I love to be friends with you, but you would have to accept me having my camera at the dinner table. Just.
He's been paying
I saw
attention.
you.
He's been paying attention. He's a loyal viewer. You know how to get to the way to the anchor's heart.
Well, maybe we could do a segment with Dean sometime. Do a Dean Cooks
There you
together.
go.
or
Yeah, that would be
Fantastic.
actually fun. I would love
Hey,
to watch
stay in
that.
touch. That sounds great,
Yeah.
Chef. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you
Thanks,
again so much,
Joseph.
guys. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Happy New Year.
You too. For more, check out brooklynbugs.com or follow along on social media, Instagram at Brooklyn Bugs, Facebook Brooklyn Bugs, Instagram Naked Soul.
There it is.
That was pretty interesting. Hey,
That
Mike.
was good.